let's get ready.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Going on, people of God? I hope that we are all doing well. I'm feeling good. Notre Dame didn't put on the most spectacular performance on Saturday, but we won, and college football is back, and the Celtics won, so very excited. I'm sorry that you have to look at my naked face, okay? It's already grown back in 3 days, but it was time for some change. But I hope we've all had good weeks and a good month of September so far. It's weird to think we're almost halfway through it. And today, tonight, I'll probably, by the time I post this, it'll be Monday morning. But today on Sunday we learned about the Gospels or forgiveness. How wrath and anger do nothing for us. How if we don't forgive, then our Heavenly Father will damn us to hell. And when Peter straight up asks Jesus, he says, how many times do I need to forgive my brother or my sister? 7 times? And Jesus is like, no, not 7 times, 77 times. Now, like, what if a person wrong, you keep track and it's like time 76, and you're like, oh, last time. No, you always forgive. Forgiving is just important as it is to eat or to drink and stay hydrated or to breathe. That's how important forgiving needs to be. Because if you, as Jesus has said to us, are to love someone and love anyone, you are to forgive them. If you don't forgive someone or can't forgive someone, then you don't love them. If you don't love everyone, you're not doing what Jesus said. I guess I could just end the video there, point blank. Ooh, seems like it got it, John. But let's keep going because it's not that simple, right? And I went to Mass here. Good homily by Father Doyle. And I went to Mass I listened to Father Mike Schmitz's homily and Father Larry Richards' homily. And it's as simple as looking those up on YouTube if you wanted to. They might do a better job. They do a better job than I would. But nonetheless, forgiving is obviously important. And it is like how people who have never been forgiven before oftentimes have the hardest time to forgive. And you might be like, well, that makes sense if you don't experience it. But, like, how has no one ever not been forgiven? That's actually impossible. Every single person in this world has been forgiven, right? Even infants. Jesus forgave all of us, right? We were shown mercy, and we're continuously shown mercy. And so we need to give that. We don't just take and receive and hog it. We give it and pay it forward to everybody else. And even when, sometimes some unthinkable things and unforgivable things are done to us, and we've had enough, and how could we forgive them? I always say, if Jesus can take 3 nails through his hand and his feet and a thorn in the side, his friends turn and run away from him, ridiculed and spit on, with a crown of thorns on his head, naked in front of everybody he knows. If he can do that and forgive everybody in that moment and continuously, second time I've used that word, throughout time, then I think we can do it. And sometimes, it's very challenging not only to forgive, but in order for us to, we know we did something wrong, it takes our pride down a notch to actually admit that, oh my gosh, I'm not perfect. That's what we need to do. And sometimes we need to be the one to ask for forgiveness. And, I was thinking about, with it being the first Notre Dame game, that my papa, Gerald Hagerty, has not been alive to see. I was thinking about him, and he was the epitome of forgiveness, right? He knew he had so many times to be forgiven, and he never hesitated to ever ask for forgiveness. Or maybe he hesitated sometimes, but he always asked for forgiveness. He never let a debt go unpaid, and he always forgave. And that's part of the reason where, those who have been shown mercy often are the ones who give mercy. And that's the way we need to be. Because let's be honest, no one wants to be not forgiven, right? Everyone longs for forgiveness, especially when we wrong one another. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like knowing that I wronged someone and that I not only have I said sorry, but I haven't been forgiven. It's terrible, right? So if we don't like it, why the hell would we withhold that from anyone else and make them feel like it? Huh. Payback, revenge. Well, then you missed the first reading tonight where wrath and vengeance and anger was hateful and was going to send you to hell. So we have to make sure that we aren't just some sort of dichotomy that says one thing or hears one thing and then does the other. That's why people hate us as Catholics and Christians, because we go to church for Roman Catholicism or whatever church we go to, and then we leave and it just becomes John Catholicism. Well, that was nice. I'll take this from the gospel, take this, and I'll take this. That other stuff, that's crap. I don't want to listen to it. No, it's all applicable. Jesus didn't say anything just because, or Jesus didn't say stuff just for us to be like, that, I'll live by those. That stuff, that's kind of challenging. Don't really agree with that. I don't think so. Thanks, Jesus, for the other stuff. No, it's not our way. It's Jesus' way. I talked about this. In order to be a disciple, you take yourself and you remember that, well, if you're taller, good for you. But, I'm not just 5'8", 180, right? I'm this small and this insignificant when it comes to what I want to do. It's Jesus' will. And what's interesting is that when we actually accept that, we get to have the ability to experience our full, unique personality, rather than what we think it should be or what others think it should be and conforming to everything. Just go to God. So that was the sidetrack. But still, it feels good to be forgiven. So how do we receive forgiveness sometimes, right? Well, one thing you can do, or make sure not to do, is to ask for forgiveness over and over again. Because then it's like, well, do you actually want forgiveness, or do you just like being heard or having me tell you that it's okay, right? You don't need that reassurance. If I forgave you once, shut up. That's it. It's done, okay? I'm not going to hold a grudge. No one should hold a grudge. I'm not saying we're not going to excuse it or forget about it, right? But we're not going to hold a grudge. It's not going to be awkward. You're forgiven, okay? So when you receive forgiveness, you say thank you. Thank you for forgiving me. And that's it. And what sucks is when you wrong someone like that, you really do want to make it up to them. And you can ask, like, is there any way I can really make it up to you? And most people will be like, no. Okay? Just shut up. Right? I don't know. But a lot of people, at least I will say, no, I'm okay. Right? Let's just be normal now. But what I would suggest doing, because this person won't say it, is to take that and, like I said earlier, pay it forward, right? Who's someone in your life who you haven't been able to forgive? Who is longing to be forgiven because they're hating that feeling right now? Go forgive them. All right? And if it's been a long time, and if they don't actually know that they've wronged you in any way, then just say to God, God, I forgive them, and I ask you to forgive them. And it's done. You can let it go. See ya. Bye. There you go. That's it. And if, no one needs to be forgiven in your life, find another way, another act of Christ to pay it forward. Because the idea is that, forgiveness is not easy. There's like a cost to it, right? And the cost to it is that it doesn't end with us. And that it takes us, to be Jesus, because Jesus forgave, and it's tough to be Jesus. Jesus mentions it all the time, and we can't really be him all the time. It's tough as humans, but that's why we try. We get up, we fail, we say sorry, we get up, do a little shoulder rub with the dust off, and we go. So, any good way to think about forgiving a person might be actually thinking about what they did to you. and maybe you've been bottling it up for a long time. And so go to God in prayer. You like that? Ooh, paper rip. Multitasking. But go to God in prayer and write down everything that you think they've done to you. And then maybe if you're courageous enough and they know they've wronged you, go to them and you say, hey, you've done this stuff to me. This, and this. And I didn't let you know then, but I'm letting you know now that affected me. And because justice, there are debts to be paid, right? But then you take it, right? If you have the sheet of paper, and when it's time, and you've told them everything, don't even let them have to say sorry. You're already going to forgive them. You take it up, the debts, and you just rip up the paper. I'm gonna throw that out. Don't worry. But you rip it up, and it's gone. All right? It symbolizes it's gone, and you know it's settled. Forgiveness isn't just a one-way street where it helps the other person who needs it. Forgiveness helps you and brings you peace too, because no one wants to hold on to anything. So try to be like my papa. Try to be like Jesus. It's the least we can do for him dying for us. So, on a more happier note, let's have a great week. Let's power through it. Let's forgive some people, and let's love everyone so that everyone's like, whoa, I want to be a Catholic or a Christian. Let's go be disciples. Woo!
People who are good sometimes are the very same people who are bad sometimes. It's funny, but it's true. It's the same, isn't it, for me? Isn't it the same for you?
In my last video, I said I wanted to start ending these with a question. Last time it was a cutesy little thing, a dog question. But today, ask yourself, who is someone that I need to ask for forgiveness, and who is somebody that I need to forgive in my life? And then go do it. Let's have a great week again. God bless you all. And, just know that I love you. And so does God. See you, everyone.